There's an effective way to deal with cortisol levels, and then there's an ineffective way to deal with cortisol levels. Obviously, you want the effective way to deal with cortisol levels. Hi, my name is Phil. I'm with Silver Fern brand. Yes, I am direct, and if you like direct, you'll like this video. If you do not like direct, you will not like this video. All right, so the correct answer to cortisol is Safr'Inside found with stress complex. Why? Well, let's start off with people that have elevated cortisol levels. If a person has elevated cortisol levels, the Safr'Inside in stress complex has been clinically studied and shown to reduce cortisol levels by up to 44% in individuals with elevated cortisol levels. If a person has elevated cortisol levels, they are struggling with mood, irritability, they're unhappy, they're burned out, they're tired, exhausted. Their metabolism is not working like it's supposed to. You're probably struggling with weight gain. You have a poor immune system. You have gut health issues. You have hormone issues. You have poor sleep. I can continue to go on, but I think you get the point. If you have low cortisol issues, you need to restore normal cortisol response. A lot of people think that if your cortisol levels are too high and too low and going up and down, that you have adrenal fatigue. It's actually called HPA axis dysfunction, and it simply means your brain and your adrenals are dysregulated. That communication line between the two is not effective. It's dysregulated. The Safr'Inside helps restore the communication between the brain and the adrenals to help with HPA axis function. So unlike all the really good mood supplements like magnesium glycinate, magtine, L-Theanine, by the way, L-Theanine is in this too, ashwagandha, 5-HTP, GABA, chamomile, caffeine, whatever you're using to feel good during the day, unlike those, you are not restoring HPA axis function with those. You are not restoring neurotransmitter balance. And you are with Safr'Inside slowly, you're ratcheting it up over 6 to 8 weeks. This is not a quick fix gimmick type thing. That's not what Safr'Inside does. Do a lot of people notice it really, really well in the first week or two? They do, but I didn't. It took me the full 6 to 8 weeks, all right? So it helps restore serotonin signaling. It's going to help restore serotonin levels. It's not going to cause serotonin syndrome. It's not going to spike serotonin levels. It's going to restore balance. That's the entire answer to all of it. It's just you want normal serotonin levels, you want normal cortisol levels, and it's going to help restore normal dopamine levels. It's going to help with sleep. It's going to help with the nervous system. By the way, one of the primary reasons we use this beyond just mood and stuff like that and sleep and rest and PMS and menopause-like issues is we use this to help with digestive issues. If a person has really bad stress, it's going to cause stomach issues and intestinal issues. Do you know one of the primary causes of constipation is actually low serotonin? This increases serotonin. If a person has a parasympathetic nervous system dysfunction, it's going to cause reflux, heartburn, burping, belching, nausea, constipation, diarrhea, bacteria overgrowth, imbalances in the gut. It causes all. In fact, you could pretty much look up your gut issues, and if you type in the gut issue and parasympathetic nervous system dysfunction, it's going to be connected. Stress complex helps the microbiome, helps the gut barrier, helps with healthy inflammatory responses, and absolutely helps the nervous system. When a person's constipated and we can't get over the hump with our motility and reflux stuff because they have been constipated and relying on laxatives like for freaking ever, that means they have some serious parasympathetic nervous system dysfunction. This is what seems to take them over the top. We throw in stress complex, we can run them another 60 to 90 days. Not only do they feel really good on it, but it finally turns the system back on. It's also one of the primary things we use when people have major gut issues, like major gut problems. Major gut problems are exasperated by stress. This helps address stress. It helps address mood. Obviously, if you're sleeping better, you're going to feel better. It helps with those type of things. So very good ingredient, very effective at helping with cortisol issues. If you have mild issues, by the way, one capsule is what the 44% reduction in cortisol, that's one capsule. That's the dosing in one capsule, okay? So mild issues, mild to moderate issues, one capsule is sufficient. You can either take it in the morning or night. Once again, it does help restore balance in the system. And for some people, not very many, but for some people, that can cause them to feel a little drowsy. The answer is just to take it at night till your body becomes familiar with it. And then you can go back to taking it in the morning. Not a big deal. If you want to go with the higher dose, which is what I like, you can take one in the morning and one at night, or you can take two at night. Now, I am an overeater. I enjoy snacking at night. I am a very stressed out person by who I am. So I'll take 2 stress complex with 2 motility and the metabolism, and I take that about, I don't know, 30, 60 minutes before I eat. I eat a small amount of food. I walk away from the table for about 15 to 20 minutes. And then when I come back and I'm not hungry anymore, which is freaking amazing. I've learned that my reason for overeating at night is because I am anxious and stressed. That's what I use this for, just throwing that out there. All right, so that's what I do. You don't need more than 2 capsules of this a day. I like to go high on everything, but you don't need more than 2 capsules of stress complex. All right. So who may not notice stress complex? Because, obviously we're not batting 100% with every single product, but since this has got up to 15 clinical studies on it. So why wouldn't this work for somebody? That'd be the next question. Like, who does this not work for? Well, the first group is obvious, people with liver issues. If a person has a sluggish or slow liver, they're going to have cortisol is just going to recycle. I don't know if you knew that or not. Not only if you have a sluggish liver is it going to cause hormone issues, which is a big problem, at least amongst our buyers. They all have hormone imbalances. A sluggish or slow liver, you don't have to have severe liver issues, just a sluggish liver is going to affect hormones. T4 is not going to convert to T3, estrogen dominance, insulin resistance, gaining weight, mood issues, slow, lethargic, tired, irritability, frustrated. Those are also signs of a sluggish liver. For that issue, if for any reason stress complex is not working, which it does for the vast majority of people, we will pair stress complex with liver complex. Here's the downside. Liver complex has 4 clinically studied ingredients at the clinical doses, and it is extremely effective, but the downside is it takes time. You're not going to address cortisol, triglycerides, your enzyme levels, your fatty liver issues, and insulin sensitivity type stuff in 30 days. It's just not going to happen. So unfortunately, liver complex, doing it the correct way, addressing the underlying root issues of liver issues, takes 4 to 6 months. I mean, that's just the truth. Does it work? Oh, it's freaking amazing, but it takes time. That's the downside. Everybody wants a quick fix. Fix everything in 2 days. Fix everything in 2 days. So if you like that approach, I'm never going to be the answer because we're trying to get to root causes, and some people just want a pick-me-up in the next 24 hours. That's not this, okay? All right, the next reason that it may not work is you have poor cellular health. Your NAD plus levels are really low, your glutathione levels, ATP are really low, you have mitochondrial dysfunction, you have really high oxidative stress and all that. For those people, we have build. So the answer isn't just to spike NAD plus or just to spike ATP or any of those things or just drop oxidative stress. By the way, the Safr'Inside really reduces oxidative stress, just throwing that out there. Build is what we're going to use to significantly increase NAD plus, to help with mitochondrial function, to help with ATP, to help with healthy glutathione levels, significantly increases glutathione levels, by the way. It is going to help with those things. It's also going to reduce oxidative stress and cortisol, believe it or not. So if a person wants all 3, we put that in our burnout kit, okay? So will a sluggish liver and will poor cellular health cause HPA axis dysfunction as well? Yeah, those are pretty much the 3 major causes. So the 3 major causes would be chronic elevated stress, right? Like just constant cortisol, like high stress. That's what stress complex is for. If you have a very sluggish, unhealthy liver, right, that can cause HPA axis dysfunction. And if you have poor cellular health, that'll cause HPA axis dysfunction. Therefore, when we put all 3 products together, we call that the burnout kit. Is extremely, extremely effective. That all said, 1 bottle of stress complex is by far one of the most popular products we sell. Almost everybody notices it and they absolutely love it, okay? So if you have cortisol issues, I would argue the effective thing to do is stress complex. You're welcome.